Yeah, my name is Thomas Elias. People call me Tom. And when I was a pastor, people used to call me Pastor Tom. Uh, I finished my basic education in engineering with a bachelor's and master's degrees from Kerala. And then I worked at the Indian Space Research Organization in Trivandrum, or it's called Thiruvananthapuram. So while I was working there, after I worked there for a few years, I decided to pursue advanced studies. And Dr. Abdul Kalam, who was my manager, he encouraged me to go for higher studies. I worked with him, I traveled with him, interacted very closely with him. We even published a paper together. So, based on his encouragement, other people's encouragement, and my own decision to pursue advanced studies, I came to the United States to study engineering. My degree in Kerala was in mechanical engineering. I studied my master's degree in College of Engineering in Trivandrum and my bachelor's degree at Regional Engineering College, or REC, now called the National Institute of Technology in Calicut. Now, I came to Cincinnati, Ohio, to study aerospace engineering for my PhD at the University of Cincinnati. While working in Toronto, let me just say, I worked on the satellite launch vehicle SLV. The later versions of that project become SLV3, SLV4, like that. Also worked in the fiber reinforced plastics division, developing advanced materials for rocket propulsion. Dr. Kalam is often called the missile man of India because he is the one who provided leadership to advanced missile propulsion systems and rockets when he worked in ISRO. And Dr. Kalam later on became the president of India. After coming to UC, the University of Cincinnati, I pursued a master's degree in aerospace engineering because I was following or doing aerospace engineering related work in ISRO. So I finished my master's degree in aerospace engineering at the UC, and then continued to do my PhD at the University of Minnesota in Minneapolis. I finished my doctorate degree from Minnesota, and then went to work as an assistant professor in Indiana Institute of Technology, assistant professor in aerospace engineering. Anything else? Yeah, I worked at the Indiana Institute of Technology as an assistant professor of aerospace engineering for about 2 years. Then I moved from there to a university in the Ohio State University System, Youngstown State University. I was there for almost 6 years. And then I continued to go and work for the aerospace industry based on my past experience of working at the ISRO. At the McDonnell Douglas Corporation, I worked for almost 3 years. And then that's the time when the world was going through a tumultuous time at the end of the Cold War. The Soviet Union ceased to exist, and America didn't have a formal enemy, and so many of the weapons programs, multi-billion programs in the US were being cancelled. And so the project on which I worked, and along with many other projects, were cancelled, and thousands and tens of thousands of engineers and scientists were without a job at that time. So I had to find a professional job in my field, and later on I found a job working for the US Department of Energy in Idaho Falls, Idaho, working with many other professional companies and the US government. While working at McDonnell Douglas, I worked with NASA. We were constantly working with the NASA, the US Air Force, and many aerospace companies like Boeing, Rockwell International, and other companies. So once I started working for the Department of Energy, I was there for almost 22 years. That's from where I retired in 2013. So my wife also worked there at the Idaho National Laboratory, which the Department of Energy managed. It's a multi-billion-dollar national laboratory, and there was a lot of work going on in engineering as well as sciences. So in 2013, in March, my wife and I, we both retired, and we moved from there to Houston, Texas. All our life together, we had lived in cold place where the temperatures were low and there was snow, ice. So as we got older, I thought we got tired of it, so we needed to find a place a little warmer than the cold place that we lived until then. So here we are in Houston. We have a lot of people from India. In other places that we lived, there were hardly any people of Indian origin. And here we are, a lot of people from India, a lot of Indian food, and nicer weather. So we enjoy the life here. We have great friends, great neighbors, and great church that we are a part of, and thankful for what we have now.
Thank you so much, sir. Tell briefly about your children and their career.
Our children were an important part of our life. We try to raise them in godly ways. In this ungodly world, we want to raise them in godly ways. They finished their high school. They were valedictorians of their classes, both of them. They were 4.5 years apart in 2001. My older son graduated in 2005. My younger son, John, graduated. They were both National Merit Scholars. They were Presidential Scholars, so they both went to the White House to receive awards from President Bush. And they continue their education. They were at Rice University doing their bachelor's degree. Rice University in Texas, that is one of the premium universities in the nation. They had admission to Ivy League schools, but they chose to stay here because of family connections and all. And then they went to study in medicine, and they are now doctors working here in Texas. My older son is here in Houston, and the younger son is in Austin, Texas. They're doing well in their career. They have great family. They're both married. They have children. So my wife and I have 5 grandchildren. My older son have 3 sons. 2 daughters and 1 son. Younger son has 1 son and 1 daughter. So altogether we have 5 grandkids. They are doing well. They have good families. They have a great life. God has been good to us, all of us. I often say, I came to this country as one person alone. Now we are 11 people. My wife, myself, my 2 sons, their wives, and 5 grandkids. 11 of us all. And God has been good. Thank you.
Other than studying, teaching, writing books, do you have any other hobbies, like anything?
We like traveling. We have traveled to a lot of places. I didn't go through every place that we went to. We like hosting people in our home. We are involved in ministries of our church. We read books. We like to read books, and as in the church, I preach, I speak, I teach. I was teaching. I think I told you I was teaching a seminar series on family. By the way, I want to mention again the books that we wrote. This is the first book that we wrote from God's own country to the land of milk and honey. From God's own country. God's own country is the name that probably used for a name used for Kerala. Everyone knows that. To the land of milk and honey, that is the United States. At one time, and maybe to some extent even now, people think of this country as the land of opportunity, land of prosperity. So God brought us from God's own country to the land of milk and honey, the land of opportunity. So the story of our life is in this book. Now, we wrote this book, Vishwasa Jeevathinte Kanapurangal. That is essentially a revised version of the English book. The English book was published by Trinity Broadcasting Network. That is the largest Christian broadcasting network in the world. This is published by Good News Books in Kottayam. And these books are both available from Amazon. The Malayalam book in India or other countries other than North America is available through Good News. I have phone numbers here. I don't know if anybody is interested in the phone number. Should I say the phone?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I have the phone numbers for Good News in Kottayam. The numbers are plus 91 481 25 70 909. Once again, plus 91 481 257 0909. Another number for Good News in Kottayam is plus 91 940 052 0909. So you can get this book from by calling one of these numbers. And in the United States and Canada, you can also order the Malayalam book by
Amazon?
yeah, through Amazon. You can punch in my name or my wife's name, or you can probably get it even by punching in the name of the book itself in English. So that's available. You can get this book. It's actually, I saw that recently they reduced the price. It was initially listed for $35. Now I think it is on sale for $13.69. This book I think sells for $14.95 or something like that. So both books are available, and I would encourage you to buy and read them, and I hope and I believe they'll be a blessing to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for coming to Houston Voice.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.